Hi ma'am, so my name is Prakhar and I'll be talking about the USP and what is the wow factors of the experience of the event. So briefly I'll explain what is the USP and then I'll explain about the wow factors which we are working on our assignment. So what is a USP? So I would say that a USP, which is a unique selling point, co-jointly referred as to a unique selling proposition, is that the essence of what makes a product or services are better and higher than in the competitors. So in online selling, communicating the USP must be clear and quick. This is one of the main key factor of getting a potential customers to convert in the market or in the website. So as we can see during the COVID-19 pandemic, we have seen a huge amount of changing the market standards from coming from physical way to more to online platforms or e-platforms, e-businesses. So a lot of individuals, they were selling their products over a huge span of time. But then due to these changes where people are locked down, people can't travel outside, and due to all these reasons, they have to find a unique selling point of their product. So that's when people adapted the ways to get a new ways how to product, how to go and show to the customers, how to attract the customers in the market. So all these things came up. I can say that during the pandemic it did help a lot of people. So yeah, and a unique selling price point also defines a company unique position within the marketplace in terms of gaining access to the center of the businesses. So the word of the businesses offers, and therefore the problem is solved. So a strong USP is clearly articulates a particular profit, one that alternates the competitors which do not provide or offer, that creates that business to stand out. So yeah, and if all the products seems to be identical, which mostly they are, so like imagine you're going to buy milk, so you're going to find 10 varieties of milk, but you have to stand out. So if there's something to stand out, which can be like, oh, this is a low fat cream milk, or this is a full cream milk, or it's a vegan free, or anything. So there are a lot of points. So a good example is that things should stand up. So like a good way I can tell you that is if a product kinds of, you can tell that if you can take it both, I can say in goods and services, I'll say that. So in terms of good, you can say that, as I just give you an example, that this can be a full cream milk, it's a low fat or low sugar or something. In services, you can say that, oh, this is a 3-star Michelin chef's restaurant, or you can say that, oh, this restaurant is owned in the world's tallest or world's largest building or something. So these are all the unique selling points of a product or the services, which can really boost up your item, boost up your products. So yeah, so that's what is USP about basically. And regarding our wow factors of our tourism spots, which we are working on our assignment, is we are working on 2 destinations as of in our research. One would be the Great Barrier Reef, and the second will be the Billabong Wildlife Sanctuary Park. So the Great Barrier Reef, as we all know, is the world's largest reef system, composed over 2,900 individually reefs, and it consists of 900 islands, which runs along 2,600 kilometers. So as we know, it's the world's biggest simple structure created by the living organisms. And the Great Barrier Reef is also supported one of the largest marine ecosystem and has one of the richest biological diversity on the planet Earth. And one more good thing we can say as the USP, as I said it before, the Great Barrier Reef was chosen as the World Heritage Site in the year 1981 and has been tagged together as one of the 7 natural wonders of the earth. So before the pandemic, before the COVID-19 pandemic, every year 1 million of visitors travel across the world to pay a visit to the Great Barrier Reef in Australia. And it is also run down by one of the biggest attraction, which is called the Eye of the Reef program, which is a program which has initiated by the government of the Australia, which technically gives the public the awareness of the Great Barrier Reef. So it's a very short program. It's a course of a 2 to 3 days course, where 1 day course is they are being introduced what types of reefs it does consist of, how does the reef get bleached by human beings activities, or by what other factors it gets bleached. And what happens is, when these tourists goes on like exploring the reefs, or while they're having a tour around the reef, the visitors or the tour guides are much more aware. They have awareness on the reef situations, and that's how these daily exposure, looking into it, daily witnesses by all these tour guides and those by the tourists are the ones which initiates this program. And it's held down because it has tracked down a lot of people. So because these activities can eventually help us to the government of Australia. So because if there's any bleaching or there's some activities going on, so the government can know which part around the 2,600 kilometer run stretch of the reef, which part is mostly affected by. And you get a daily research from eye to eye from the people on the ground. So these are some of the wow factors I would say that it has helped out a lot. The second we have talked about is a Billabong sanctuary. So as we know, every country do have a wildlife sanctuary. It's not a big thing having a wildlife sanctuary in a particular country. Everyone has it. They have a zoo, they have a night safari, you have a wildlife sanctuary, open safari and all that. But what makes Billabong sanctuary a big unique thing is the animals are freely open, and a lot of countries do have limitations to take pictures around, or they have control over the pictures taken by the public. But here it's not in that case. In Australia, in the Billabong sanctuary, it's open, it's throughout open for everyone, so you can take unlimited amount of pictures. And there are plenty of feeding shows, so you can feed the koalas, the kangaroos, the turtles, the wombats, and many more. And what's good about it is they're all open, so you are being observed by the rangers within the sanctuary, but they're all under supervision, and then you can feed them. As we know that there are a lot of zoos, a lot of other wildlife sanctuaries where all the animals are caged animals, so it's pretty restricted. You can see the feeding shows, you can observe it, but majority of them you can't feed them. But while in Billabong sanctuary, you can feed majority of the animals down there. So this is another quite a big wow factor, which we find that it's more freely, you have more freedom. The kids and the family can feel more exposed to the nature and all that. So yeah, that's all. Thank you so much.